Yeah, no doubt about it. You could say the ticket to end the picket has been punched, setting things into motion depending on what Stellantis and GM do next. If you can hear behind me and really see behind me, the strike stations, the several gates right outside Ford, Michigan Assembly, they're empty. Workers were told to go home. They're certainly celebrating, so you could call it a celebratory quiet here at Ford, Michigan Assembly, right outside UAW Local 900. Let's go to some video right now from earlier. Now, this video is essentially the last video of strike activity you will likely ever see here, at least this time around at Ford, Michigan Assembly in Wayne. This was hours before workers got the news of a tentative agreement between Ford and the UAW, and it's a 25% increase over the lifetime of this tentative agreement. With cost of living adjustment, that's about 30% of an increase there. It's been 6 weeks. The union pushing for double-digit wage increases, job security, and an end to tears. And tonight, the UAW went online, posted a video, the union saying they have a tentative agreement with Ford, and workers are thrilled.
Sorry, it's emotional time for me. You know, I'm emotional, but just super excited that this is over with, and just can't wait to get back to work and just get on with my life, man. This is my first strike, but I put in a lot of time and effort with Ford, so I'm just really excited that it's going to work out for everybody. So hopefully GM and Stellantis can get their deals done, and then I don't know really what else to say. Just historic day for us, that's for sure.
I'm feeling pretty good, honestly. You know what I'm saying? Feeling like a new man, new money.
New man, new money. I like that. What did they tell you in there?
They told us that to be ready for a better life, honestly, and just to be grateful for what we got. You know what I'm saying?
Meantime, we have a graphic here, the White House reacting to the Ford UAW tentative agreement. President Joe Biden, who picketed during the strike. That was a historic first time a president has joined in on a strike on the picket line. Joe Biden said, "I applaud the UAW and Ford for coming together after a hard-fought, good-faith negotiation and reaching a historic tentative agreement tonight. This tentative agreement provides a record raise to auto workers who have sacrificed so much to ensure our iconic Big Three companies can still lead the world in quality and innovation." And I've got the old whiteboard out here as we come back live to go over those numbers once again. A 25% increase for the life of this tentative agreement. Remember, the Ford workers represented by UAW, they have to vote on this for it to officially pass. So we'll learn more about that in the coming days. Now with the COLA, not the drink, but the cost of living adjustments, that's what COLA stands for, of course. The union says it's more like a 30% increase, and that takes the top pay to about $40 an hour. So a big win for the union on many issues. There are still other things in this deal that we have to find out about, but certainly workers leaving here, going home and celebrating. Stellantis and GM, they did release statements tonight. They were short. They simply said they continue to work constructively with the union to get their own tentative agreements. Once that happens, the strike would effectively be over. A historic strike, first time all three Detroit 3 members, automakers, have been demonstrated against by the UAW. Reporting live outside Ford, Michigan Assembly in Wayne, Dave Kinchin, Fox 2 News.
Yeah, Dave, you know, you look at the supply chain and dealerships, the longer GM and Stellantis go with this strike, the fewer cars they make. Meantime, Ford, if this is ratified, well, they get back to work. That gives them an edge over their domestic counterparts if the other two don't come to a deal soon.
Yeah, that's true. And, you know, about $10 billion has been lost here as this whole strike took place. That's across the industry and really affecting outside businesses, you know, the pizza shop, the restaurants, everybody that depends on that money coming in from workers. And not just with the Big Three, but suppliers, the Tier 1, the Tier 2 suppliers like you're talking about. We talked with the head of the Detroit Regional Chamber today. He said, you know, even once this whole thing starts back up, once the strike does end, remember, we need tentative agreements in place with GM and Stellantis. Workers have to vote on all of that. The Ford workers have to vote to pass the deal with Ford. But once all that happens and everything does start back up, the Detroit Regional Chamber said it's still going to be very costly costly, probably just as costly, just to get everything started back up because of all of those losses. Some of the smaller supply chain companies, suppliers have run out of cash, or they've run dangerously low on cash throughout all of this. We saw the big three members saying we're not locking anybody out, but they've had to lay off people. Why?
Sure.
Well, when workers here at Ford Michigan Assembly, for example, when they went on strike, well, that means there's no one really making the parts that have to be painted. So painters were laid off because there wasn't any work coming in for them to do. So you really got to see how interconnected this industry is. And at the same time, the big three has said we got to put billions of dollars away into electrification. These are long-term 10-year investments to make sure that they can make that transition to EVs too. So still a lot to be worked out.